Hi everyone, John Pearl here from John Pearl Coaching. Today's question is around stress. Now it's a big topic, but I want to talk about, is there such a thing as stress? And if so, what's the best way to manage it? Now we're really going to just scratch the surface here because it is a very big topic, but something so prevalent right now. Whether you're a business owner, a professional, a mum, a dad, a brother, a sister, an entrepreneur, anything in society comes with its moments of stress. Now, first off, I ask the question is this: is there such a thing as a stressful event? My response is no. An event is just an event. Whether it's a deadline being moved forward, whether it's a car barreling down on you down the road, it's just an event. Stress is our chosen response to that event. Now don't get me wrong, some of these events, stress is probably a warranted reaction, but it's when we choose stress as our response to multiple events throughout a day that we're really starting to see some systemic problems in society with illness, with health. Mental health is something that has been headline news for the last 3 years. So, is there such a thing as a stressful event? No, but our default is to stress about some of these events. Again, stress can be a good thing. It actually helps us during certain events, certain moments. So let's acknowledge there's stress in the world. But then how do we deal with it? We don't want to default into medication. I'm not saying there's not a place for that, and for certain people where mental health is a real struggle and it's prolonged periods of anxiety and depression, absolutely. But what I'm talking about here is daily stresses that come up, daily feelings and emotions of anxiety. How do we deal with that? Now for me, these are my go-to. Number one is looking at kind of how we eat. More specifically, are we eating a lot of really highly processed food? Are we drinking a lot of caffeine? So that would be my first point of reflection. Have a look at what you eat, what you consume. The other part is movement. It has been shown that exercise, that movement is the best solution to stress, to depression, to anxiety over the long term. So just daily bringing in some movement, whether it's walking, whether it's CrossFit, whether it's tennis, it doesn't matter. Just move every day in some way, shape or form. The other one for me is meditation or breath work. Again, it is clear as day that bringing these into our world helps us lower that level of cortisol. It slows the heart rate down. And something like a box breathing is a really useful tool when we might be walking into perhaps a client meeting or a presentation where the heart rate is elevated, we're starting to feel nervous. Now, if that's you and you have to present or you have to meet with clients and you feel like that, don't let stress overwhelm you. Try box breathing. You know your content, you know your topic, you know your product. Just try some box breathing. You breathe in for the count of 4, we hold for the count of 4, we breathe out for the count of 4, we hold for the count of 4, and we do that 4 times. There's variations of that, but effectively that is the core behind box breathing. I find that a really useful tool for bringing that stressed feeling down. So look, it's a quick video and I just wanted to put it out there and say, I acknowledge that we all have stress every day in some way, shape or form. But I also acknowledge that it's our own chosen response sometimes to certain things, to certain events. And there's things that we can do to help mitigate that, to help it not be our default. So I want you to look at what you're eating, what you're consuming, especially coffee, especially highly processed foods. Look at how much you're moving. Are you doing any movement at all? Or does your typical day look like getting out of bed, quickly eating some food, jumping in the car, driving to work, sitting at your chair, getting back in your car, driving home, sitting on the couch? And the other one is meditation. Guided meditation, box breathing, all fantastic tools that we can easily bring into our day, and they cost nothing. Just some tips from me today on the topic of stress. Keep well, keep safe.